I don't know if anybody can hear me. I don't even think anybody will show up probably, but I wanted to talk about this Kevin Samuels passing this shit just for a little bit. I know a lot of people probably don't even know about this channel. Some people may know about it. No, I really or rarely post on this channel. So, um, when people watch it, if you can, thumbs it up. It's free. It's free. But if not, it's all good too. The the Kevin Samuels passing, what does that mean for YouTube? What does that mean for a lot of people that looked up to this guy? Like a lot of people that looked up to this man and they had high hopes banking on his information, whether it's a female or male. What does that mean? What does his passing mean to YouTube? Well, I mean, I think that if you do ask this question, I think a lot of people that answer is probably a lot of people who he influenced and a lot of people that he reached. And when you talking about he wasn't shit or the people that didn't like him or all these things, when he was always talking bad about sisters and this and that. I don't watch this man's content and I hardly mention people names, but in this circumstance and in this situation, this is it's a relatively big name. Him and Kwame Brown. I mean, I don't really watch Kwame Brown, but you don't have to really watch them to know that they have a big following and people listen to them. They have a lot of influence. And for me, turn this down a little bit. For me, I don't hop on people's shit because of their influence or because of their subscriptions or because of their name, their celebrityism, or any of these things. This is why I never really watched, I should say, Kevin Samuels or Kwame Brown. Now, I do see an occasional content creator talk about it. And when they're talking about him, it's always, he's a pussy, sissified, all these things. Um, you know, has that been confirmed? I don't know. I don't really get into all these people business like that, if you will, their personal quarrels or their personal dealings and shit in their personal life. I mean, honestly, I don't really give a fuck. Honestly, I mean, I never watched the guy. I wasn't really that impressed what he was saying, but you follow a lot of these big YouTubers and a lot of these big names because your regular today. I don't know how you call them or name them. These content creators, they talk about these celebrity type YouTubers. And for me, I just don't, it's just like, I'm not going to give you credit. I'm not going to be on your dick. I'm not going to be on your pussy just because you have a certain following and you have a certain amount of subscribers and you get a certain views. This shit, this internet generation and this internet time is just, to me, it's unbelievable. And it's something to me that I can't really fathom. I really can't. And to me, it's just like we can't separate, if we don't know how to separate real life between internet life. And I think we get fucked up a lot of the times. off that because we get so caught up with this internet life. We start believing this shit. We start like, oh, Kevin Samuels, he's saying all these fucking things. I think Kevin Samuels was talking more of women that wanted a high value man and men that wanted a high value woman. A lot of the people that's on YouTube probably aren't even average value. And I would be included in that because there's nothing impressive about me. I'm a regular person that works, this and that. Just go to work. I struggle paying my bills and shit. I'm sure like the next motherfucker do in the expensive state that I live in. If you're not, hey, y'all blessings to you. Y'all blessings to you, sister. Y'all blessings to you, brother. But the average person, we all know where that expression and that saying comes from. You one check away, right, for being on the street. So a lot of these people um get their head pumped up because they have a certain following and certain numbers that they hit on here. And because, some people's always sucking their ass and, all this kind of shit, right? Feel me? So it's just like, you got to learn how to separate this internet shit from reality. From reality. Reality is your ass you have to work. Your ass have to work. You're going to have to work and you have to pay bills. And sometimes you're going to struggle on bills. Not everybody is a Kevin Samuels. Not everybody is a Kwame Brown. Not everybody is that other sister that always talks about celebrity shit, Ti and shit, whatever her name is. We're not all destined to do that. Everybody has their voice, of course, definitely. And I love listening to other people's voices. I don't like just listening to the same motherfucker. And I noticed that the the motherfuckers that have big numbers and have big channels, they don't know what to fucking do with their channel. So a lot of times the channel be bullshit, horseshit, if you will. And a lot of the littler content creators, they come out with content. I see a lot of the littler channels, they be having content on that motherfucker. A lot of content. And you know, I used to do the podcast and in 2018 and the little podcasting here and there. And it's cool. I like it, but it's not anything that, that I'll go into being serious with. This is just something, everybody has a voice. And I think as long as you're not talking about killing anybody, you're not wishing death or harm on anybody. I think anybody could, everybody and anybody can talk about what the fuck they want to talk about. It's a free country. Everybody has their right in doing so. Um, hey, what's going on, Sister Donna? I appreciate you being here with me. I think this is probably like my second live on this channel, I believe. I don't know if you guys can hear me good, but I'm just, I'm talking about the Kevin Samuels and shit. Peace, what's going on, big bro? Step Wayne, what's going on with you? Hopefully y'all can hear me and shit. I'm not talking to the air and shit. um, but separation from reality to the internet to reality. I think a lot of us get on here, we live in delusion, and a lot of that's what hurts us as people. And I mean, it can hurt not just our nation, but I think it hurts a lot of human beings these days in this internet generation because you live through the internet and it starts obscuring your view on people in the real life. So let's take this for example, right? And I don't mean all. I don't mean all. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can. Let me know if I'm cutting out. But when I say not all, and when everybody says not all, they're talking about all men, all women, and all that. You know what I mean? So when I say not all women, but a lot of women hate Kevin Samuels on here, right? It's because their view of what he was talking about, they typically think they're talking about them. See, I used to be bothered. Well, I wouldn't say bothered, but rather triggered. You feel me? On some of the things Tranny G says. I used to be like, damn, why is she always doing that? But then I started realizing that that has no effect on me. That has no effect on me, I should say. Excuse me. Has no bearings on my life. These women experiences with melanated men have nothing to do with me because it was not with me. And they can throw percentages in and say, oh, we ain't shit, we this and that, we all the N words and all this fucking shit, right? They could say that, but at the end of the day, if you have not met every single person on earth, how does that really work in reality? Because if I carried the same mindset of the women I've been with, some are crazy as fuck and just say, oh no, they're all like that, people would be looking at you like you stupid as fuck. So it works both ways with this shit. It works with men and women. So I never understood why women tend to think that Kevin Samuels is just talking about him. I'm not. I mean, I can remember a few videos on World Star Hip Hop of him talking about men. I believe I could be wrong, but that's how I actually discovered him. Now I don't know a lot. I don't know how everybody else came across him, but I came across him from World Star Hip Hop when he was basically dissecting that sister, right? But um I've seen videos of him talking shit about men and this and that, about men's appearance and shit like that. But in our minds or in women's minds on here, I think that they feel like he's just talking about women and he's a sissy and he's effeminate, whatever the case might be. I mean that's neither here or there. I mean, I don't like this guy, but I don't dislike this guy. And I've said that 2 years ago, or a year ago, whenever that video went viral, I said I don't have no problem with him, but I don't like him. I mean, what's what's so hard about comprehending that? That is some people on YouTube that don't hate people nor like people. I mean, you could just tolerate. I don't like Tranny G, but I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, kill her, do all this and that," because all she does is talk about black men. They're not shit. They're not anything. Like, come on. She has no effect on my life at all. She's not affecting me having to provide for myself and pay bills. She's not doing that. All she's doing is talking about her experiences. She's going over data that's obscured and it's horseshit. And she's going off data that doesn't even make any sense because most melanated men and melanated women are together. That's just a fact. So I really sometimes when I get on the internet, it's just the social media. I should say it's just depressing. That's one of the reasons why I mind my business. I talk about shit that I want to talk about when I want to talk about it. I'm not gonna be into. I've never been into the gossiping and all that shit. I might throw an article clip there or an article clip here, but at the end of the day, um, how do these people like? You gotta understand, man. Whether you're a woman or a man, you shouldn't be. If you're a young man or a young brother, a young man or a young woman, young sister, young brother. You shouldn't be looking at a lot of these people as your father figure, as your mother figure. They're not teachers. A lot of these people aren't certified. A lot of these people get on YouTube and do practically the same shit that I'm fucking doing. And they offer no real advice at all. But people that I do understand, if you're a zombie, some people do they get under the hypnosis. They get under hypnosis and they start praising, the Tranny G's and the Kevin Samuels and shit. That becomes their life because they don't have a life most of the time. Uh, Real content creators could talk about a broad spectrum of shit, and it doesn't have to just be one topic. You could talk about games. You could talk about cartoons. You could talk about movies. You could break that shit down. You could do music. You could do anything. You could talk about culture. What makes culture? Just all kinds of different topics without making people feel like shit and letting people have their own fucking mind. So I never understood why a lot of people on the internet join cults and then act as if cults are their real life. What's going on with you, sexy Belle? How's it going, Queen? Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you. Step brother, thank you for sharing me out. I appreciate that, bro. It's weird going live on this channel. I never go live on this channel. Um, but um, I think we as people, and I think a lot of other people, I think humans in general, in this generation, this internet generation, I think we're failing, man. We're failing our children, and our children's children are gonna be failed because they're growing up thinking life coaches is supposed to live life for you. I like that one. I just made that one up. That was freestyle off the dome right there. People on YouTube think that life coaches and gurus are supposed to live life for them. You got to get out there, man, and mingle with people, man. I mean, I had to face my fears. Always remember, I'm a regular person, man. I'm a regular person. That's it. I'm a regular person, man. I don't consider myself high value. None of that. I don't even know what the fuck that shit means. I make enough money to pay my bills. That's all that fucking matters, man. As long as I have my fucking vehicle, I have food in my stomach, I'm good, man. And I make sure my peoples is good, my folks, my family, my friends, loan them money when they can get it. I'm just a regular person. I've never got on YouTube or any social media platform ever and acted as if I was bigger than anybody. Than anybody. I am a regular person. I'm going to remain a regular person. And I think that's something we should all take in, because a lot of these people really are regular people. Some just with a lot of money. A lot of your rappers and actors, they just have a lot of money. But they're regular people, man. They bleed just like you bleed. They get sick just like you get sick. We have to stop putting people on a pedestal because they're on the internet, and a lot of people become zombified, and a lot of people look to other people for guidance or whatever the case may be. Look, man, I'm from the old school. From the old school, baby. You got to take your licks how you take them. School of hard knocks. You feel me? You got to take your life lessons out in life. Nobody's going to live this shit for you. You feel me? So a lot of these coaches, these female coaches, these women coach, I mean, it kind of depends on what kind of coach. Spiritual coaches, that get you more spiritually in tune, with earth and then your soul and shit. That's different. That's different. I wouldn't have a problem seeing one of those, right? Um, even a therapist, a therapist, I wouldn't put them in the realm of, dating coaches or anything. They're more of, if you're a melanated person in America, it should be required for you to have a therapist or something like that. Somebody that it should be mando for you to talk to somebody once a month or twice a month about your everyday thing goings. You going to work, taking care of your family, if you do have a family, paying bills, and just aware of the climate of how America is towards people with brown and black skin, you know? So that's something that should be required. I feel like that you should just have somebody to talk to for free. You shouldn't have to have insurance. I just feel like if you have color, you a melanated being of African ancestry, you should be able to talk to somebody. And I'll never fault anybody for that. I don't look down on any. Matter of fact, I respect a brother or a sister that does that. Why? Because all of the torment and struggles that we've been on this fucking land, we should have that. That should be. I mean, that's the least we should get, right? I mean, that's the least you could do is just give us somebody to talk to a couple times a month at least, right? I mean, it doesn't look like we're gonna give reparations no time soon, right? I mean, I could use that motherfucker, but I respect the motherfucker that takes their mental health into consideration because your mental health is growth. You growing mentally is how you grow in every aspect. Picking up knowledge is how you grow. So that's why that's the reason why I'm not even opposed to spiritual gurus either. Because it helps you grow in that your soul helps your soul grow, right? And then of course your fitness trainers and shit. It's cool to get your little workout on and shit like that. Somebody that, for your body type. You want to be a bodybuilder, you follow a bodybuilder. If you for the ladies, you want the sleek body, whatever, you follow a certain lady that has a sleek body, right? Real slim body, right? Or whatever your body type you prefer, right? But life coaches and dating coaches, that's like it kind of goes against human revolution a little bit. It kind of goes or not evolution the human evolution because humans didn't have dating coaches millions and millions of years ago. They didn't have that shit. They just did it. If you found somebody you were attracted to, somebody that fit the traits that you liked in a mate, um, see, back in those times, you go back to the old times, a lot of women just like the men that worked hard. They didn't give a fuck if he looked like the hunchback of Notre Dame and shit. You know what I mean? Long as the motherfucker worked hard, he went into the steel mills, he went into the mines and shit. The motherfucker can look like the hunchback of Notre Dame. He can look fucked up, but he works hard. And that woman is secure knowing that this man works hard for his kids and his family. That was back in the day, And a lot of standards and shit changed over time and shit. But what I'm trying to say is there was no life coaches back in the day. And I'm not saying that you can't listen to a lot of this shit. I'm definitely not saying people can do what the fuck they want. Everybody's grown, do what the fuck you want. What I'm saying is take in consideration that we don't all live the same lives. We don't all make the same money. And we all don't look like that poster person that a lot of these gurus are talking about. Like these motherfuckers are talking about perfection. Motherfuckers with bodies that are like 10, went to school, Harvard graduate, making, 100K a year or more. Come on. The average person is not doing that. You can look at American statistics for yourself. The average person isn't doing that. That's a certain percentage that does that. But your average person that you meet, ladies and gentlemen, they're not gonna fit that. So always keeping being around in the perspective of reality when you're dating, and listen to people that live in reality and not this internet fantasy shit. Because keep in mind, I don't have no problem with the brother Kevin Samuels, but the brother died of what, heart failure or some shit, heart problems or some shit like that. Supposedly he died uh on his woman or some shit. So he died in pussy, something like that. Or another article I read said he died of cocaine overdose. Maybe, right? But the fact of the matter is, this brother died of health problems when he was getting on everybody, the brothers and sisters. So you're overweight, you're fat, all this and that. And this brother died from heart complications. So was this brother putting his health, and was he making sure his health came first? That's something that you have to really look at a lot of these people action. This is a man that preached, oh, if you want to get a high value man, you can't have kids, you got to have a perfect body, that biggest ass, the biggest tits. But this man died of heart failure, heart complications, whatever the fuck, right? He died health related. It was health related, right? Because a lot of people that watched him said he sounded like he was sick or some shit. See, I don't watch him. And then keep in mind, I'm not clout chasing at all. I just want people to understand that a lot of these people are human. That's one. Always remember, a lot of these people are human. I know you see the avatars, you feel me? But a lot of these people are human. They're not superhuman. They, like I said, they bleed like everybody. They get sick like everybody. They could die like everybody else. So if you're listening to a lot of these people, take the information how a human being takes information. You get the information and you take the information. You can't necessarily apply every fucking thing that you hear from people on here to your life, because it's not gonna fit my life. I don't make that much money. I mean, I wish I did. If I did, I would be pretty pleased. I'm not gonna be mad making 100K a year, but no, I work for a living. I have to work hard for my money, you know. And a lot of people might not be able to relate because a lot of people might make more money than me, but there is a person out there that might listen to this. I'm like, yeah, I have to work too, just like the brother is saying. I have to work hard for my money to keep my bills paid and shit like that. You can't miss a day at all. You can't miss a day at all. You have to stay on the shit. If you're a regular person that just works, this and that. Now, you could talk to people and have conversations with people that, hey, why not do more, or get a higher paying job and this and that. Hey, you gotta do what works for you, man. You gotta get what you can get. Um, of course, you should always be ready to upgrade your financial and your environment status. You should always want to upgrade your shit. But first, you have to take care of home first. You have to take care of your shit first. My bills aren't gonna wait for me to get another job that pays more than this job. You feel me? You have to wait and work towards that shit as it comes, you know. Um, but we this got to, the another thing about this shit. There's just so many things coming in my brain at once. Excuse me. Um, we got to let this be a reminder of how we treat each other too. And I know a lot of us may take this like, oh, it's just a person that died. We don't really have to. What's going on, brother Jack? We don't have to do anything to improve ourselves or anything like that because it was just one person. But in the real world, in everyday life, people die every day with fucked up karma. And you have to start asking yourself a question. And, I'm going to leave you guys with this one. I'm going to leave in a little bit. But Ask yourself this question. People that listen to the playback, ask yourself, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a person that was hateful towards black people, towards black women, towards black men, made a mockery of your people? Um, or do you want to be a person remembered for trying to help people, trying to be a decent person every day? And this goes a little bit into, the people that hate the Bible. They feel like the white man wrote this shit. Why are we listening to this shit? Um, you shouldn't need a book to tell you the difference between what's morale and what's bad. But the thing is, we actually do. Because if you look at how the world is today, it's fucked up. The world is fucked up. And you do need a reminder like, oh shit, I'm becoming a bad person. I need to improve myself. At least that's what this book says, right? Because let's take this for example. How has not listening to this book worked for a lot of people? Great question. How have not how have we as people, brothers and sisters, lived life today, lived life in this generation that we live in? How has that worked for us not listening to this book? Whatever book, the Torah, the Quran, whatever. Just using it for morale, because there's no religion attached to that. Religion got attached to it after. These are just books that chronicle life, certain life points in life and history, that were historic, right? That was chronicled in these books, right? And then templates on how to live, right? Your basic instruments to live, right? Every day. How has that worked for us? Do you feel like we as people are improving not listening to this book or reading this fucking book? It's a great question. I'm dead ass serious. I'm asking this. I'm asking this. Real shit. And if please, anybody, you can answer in the comment section after this live when you're hearing the playback. How has that shit worked for you at this point in life? For us. For you. Just for you. Do you feel like you're a great person of morale? Do you feel like you could work on that shit? How do you feel when you see how we view marriage and shit to this day? Because marriage, I will admit marriage in America is a form of slavery in my opinion, because America just it's not it's not a great sanction for marriage. But other places it works. In other places it works. It got me out of a lot of trouble. Still needing. Hey, I hear you, brother Jack. It's all about improvement, man. I use the good book. I use the Torah, good book to improve on. Very good book to improve on. And I know a lot of people um don't believe in this shit, or maybe not, or maybe they do, maybe not. Maybe hate it and feel like the white man wrote it, but really you have to do your own research because the white man didn't write any of these books. But that's for another day. I'm not Bible thumping at all. I don't want to push shit on nobody. I want y'all as a nation to just be woke. Y'all could be whatever the fuck. I got friends that don't believe in no God. They don't believe in none of these books, any of this shit, right? None of this shit. But we still friends because why? It's about respect. I respect my friends. I respect my brothers. I respect my sisters because they respect me and they respect my beliefs. And that's how we should be as a nation. Doesn't matter if you feel like, oh, this shit ain't real. Okay. Well, tell me how your life been going not reading this shit. Is it going good? Is it going well? Did you make enough babies? Are you getting enough shit? Are you paying enough child support? Are you gonna be more immoral today as fuck? And I have things to work on too. I ain't perfect at all. I'm not perfect at all. Trust and believe me. I fucking my language could be worked on. It definitely could be where I can improve on that. I have a lot of problem areas. But the whole purpose of a lot of these books and verses of these books were to simply just improve us and keep us in tune as human. Pretty much. It wasn't meant to brainwash you or put shackles onto your brain or your spirituality. Because I read everything. I mean, you probably will never meet a person like me that reads everything and enjoys every culture, every faith, every aspect of spirituality because that's spirituality is life. It's in everything. It doesn't matter how you view it, how I view it. We're all everybody's all spiritual to a certain extent. It's just how we express that shit. You know what I mean? A lot of us may be afraid to express that shit. You feel me? Some of us might be like, hey, this is me. I'm a real person. I'm a real human. And that shit's not gonna change. But yeah, I want to leave y'all with that, man. I'm not gonna ramble and shit. I just wanted to speak a little bit on that. I know a lot of people didn't like the guy. Um, I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of the guy. I don't want this to come across as clout chasing at all. Um, he's still a melanated person. He passed away, and the same with Tranny G. I don't like her. I don't like her shit. But at the same time, if she passed, she would always have my condolences because she's still a melanated being. I'm not gonna ever have that much hatred for anybody that I don't know, anybody that I never met. I just feel like a lot of people that spew hatred, especially on their own, specifically on their own people, it's just disgusting to me. And I can't never look past that. But I'm not gonna speak on death, and I'm definitely not gonna speak on people that are in progress of death, like sick in the hospital. I'm not doing none of that shit. Because you know why? The same thing that happened to Kevin Samuels can happen to a lot of you people that speak on this shit. You keep speaking ill on the dead. I don't do that. I don't fuck with that shit. I don't know how to fuck y'all fuck with that shit, but at the same time, I understand a lot of y'all don't have no standards or morals in your fucking life. Y'all think just because this is the internet, you can say what the fuck you want to say and how you want to say it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna speak on the dead. Even like I said, even if Tranny G died, I'm not gonna speak ill on her because she's passed on. So she's in a different life, a different life form. You know, her spirit it went, it transcended, it ascended, I should say, to a different realm. Kevin Samuels is in a whole different realm somewhere. Let the man rest, man. The same with Tupac, man. Stop mentioning Tupac, man. Let that man rest, man. For real, that dude want to be at peace. A lot of people, dread being on fucking Earth and can't wait to get to the afterlife. That's another thing you should ask yourself. How do you want to ascend when you go to the afterworld, the netherworld, the other world? The spiritual realm. Ask yourself that. You feel me? How's that gonna be when you transcend? You know what I mean? How do you want to transcend? How do you want to die? What does death feel like? What does death look like for you? These are questions you should be asking yourself, especially if you live a foul, fucked up life and you have bad karma and you're fucked up to other people for no fucking reason. And some might say, hey, for Kevin Samuels, that's karma law, right? All the shit he did to people. But at the same time, I highly doubt that any of these people that's talking shit about that man knew that motherfucker. This is why I don't really give a fuck about what Tranny G says anymore because she never met me. She never met a lot of brothers. It's a lot of brothers taking care of their kids out here. Out here, it's a lot of brothers out here doing what the fuck they have to do, taking care of their family and doing so, paying their bills. It's a lot of brothers that go to school too. So I hate that notion where a lot of people say, well, black men just don't go to school. Man, when I was going to school, so many melanated men there. getting a fucking education and playing sports at the same fucking time. Dominate in sports while dominating in the classroom. There's a lot of brothers out there that go to school. Question is, do you want them? Do you want them? They don't have a million kids. They might not have a 10 pack. They might not make $1 billion, but they're out there. And there's a lot of brothers out there that go to school and work hard for their fucking shit. So, that being said, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Don't get caught up with this internet shit. Be the best person that you can be. And remember, respect those how you want to be respected. Treat those how you want to be treated. You know? Y'all be good. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all enjoy your work day. Y'all enjoy your off day. All that shit. All right. Y'all be good. Y'all be safe, man. Shalom. Much love to everybody. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for listening to the playback. Thank y'all.